Hello, everyone. Most of you are about to complete your work, and some of you have completed it already. So, this is our last lecture on how to submit the paper and how to navigate the publication process. Before talking about how to choose a journal, there are some leftover details in completing your paper. For example, declarations, um, in which you include author contribution, funding received, or any conflict of interest and consent, etc. So for author contribution, you can just write a simple paragraph like this: that first author contributed significantly to the concept, literature search, data extraction, quality assessment, and writing of the draft. And co-authors assisted in reviewing the paper and providing feedback and reviewing the final paper. And study was supervised by, here you would write my name, and all authors reviewed and approved the final manuscript. So you can write it like that, or you can also write the name of the authors. For example, you can write your name and write that this person contributed to concept, literature research, data extraction, quality assessment, and original draft. Then you can write the name of the second author and write what he did. For example, the second author did that helped in data extraction, and third author helped in writing the original draft, and fourth author helped in reviewing the paper. So that is your own choice. You can write it like that, or you can write by the name of the each author. And then you would write that there was no conflict of interest between authors, no funding received, and ethical approval and patient consent was not applicable, because this is review study and this is applicable on original studies. So you have to check the declaration section according to the journal you choose. Whatever the journal you choose, you have to write the author's guidelines. And some journals just ask you these questions in a yes or no format, and some wants you to write it down and add it in your Word file. So you can see that according to the journal you publish in. Then author sequencing, first author, you are the first author of your paper because you are the one that did the work. Last author is the mentor who supervised the work. That would be me. And other authors are added according to the contribution in the paper. So once you are all done with the paper, I would tell you the authorship details, that who would be the second, third, fourth author in which paper, and no outsider would be allowed as an author in any of our papers other than the group numbers. And so each journal has its own process of submission. Some journals ask you that you just upload the Word file of your final manuscript and add a cover letter. And some ask you to upload the content under their own different headings. For example, in Curious, they have a heading of abstract, then you just have to copy paste the abstract in that heading. And then they have a heading of introduction, and below that you just have to copy paste the introduction section. Similarly for tables, figures, and everything, you just have to copy paste in the one under their own headings. While in other journals you have to upload the Word files. So whatever the journal you choose, you have to read the author instructions and guidelines for that journal. Some wants you to have structured abstract, and some wants an unstructured abstract. I told you what is structured and unstructured abstract in the abstract lecture. References and journals require specific number of references and specific reference style and word count. Every journal has different word count, but it is up to 4,000 words in most of the journals. So, if you publish in the journal that wants you to copy paste in the own headings, for example, Curious, you don't have to do this arrangement. But if you publish in other journals that want you to upload a Word file, then you have to have some specific arrangement. Um, so all the tables and images in your method section. So I'm repeating it again, that in the method section, it will be supplementary tables. Supplementary tables and figures are those that are not part of the paper, but they are available online. They would share the link and you can click on them and look at those tables and pictures. So you have to name the table. For example, there is search strategy table in your method section. You would name it supplementary table 1. And then there is quality assessment table, and you would name it supplementary table 2. So tables and figures in your method section would be supplementary tables and figures. And the rest of the tables in your paper in results and discussion section would be table 1 and table 2. So uh, patient characteristic table would be table 1 and the outcomes would be table 2. So you have to save each table in a separate Word file with the name of supplementary table 1 in a one Word file. Then in a second Word file, you have supplementary table 2. And in a third file, you have table 1 and with the name of the table, then table 2 with the name of the table, and then figure 1. Your Prisma flow diagram is one figure that you all have in your paper. So figure 1 with the name of figure 1. So these would be all separate Word files. Except figure should be in the JPG or PNG format. And then you have a title file in which you have a title of the paper, whatever is that title. And then you would write the full name of the authors, their name that is in their degree or in their diploma, and their affiliation. So affiliation of all of you is either your medical school. If you're not working after a med school, then it would be your medical school. And if you're currently working at a place, then that place would be your affiliation. So corresponding author is the one that is submitting the paper. So since the first author is the one that is submitting its own paper, so the first author will be the corresponding author. So would you would write the your research title in one line, then you would give the heading of authors, and then you would write in each line, for example, your own name, comma, and then name of your medical college or the hospital you are working at. And then in the second line, you would write the name of the second author and its affiliation. And then third author, fourth author, fifth author, and similarly all authors. And then you would give a heading of corresponding author, and you would write your name, your affiliation, and your email address or phone number. And then you would have one separate Word file. You would name it abstract, and you would copy paste the abstract in that file, and you would save it in a separate file. And then rest of the article from introduction to conclusion would be in one file. You can name it the final manuscript. And then in one separate file, you would have a cover letter. And so I will tell you how to write a cover letter in the next slide. So this is the arrangement you have to do. Other than these arrangements, when you are done with your paper and you know you are not going to add any other reference, you have to replace all the round brackets with square brackets, because the online system cannot read the round brackets. It will only read square bracket as a reference. So wherever you have put your reference and you are sure that you have completed your paper, just replace all the brackets and put the square brackets. So you have these brackets, you have to replace them with these square brackets. For example, reference 1, so like that, and reference 2 like that. So you have to replace all the round brackets with square brackets, and so that the online system can read them as the references. So this is the cover letter. You can just use this format or you can change it. But this is the body that you have to include, in which you have to write to editor-in-chief. You are submitting the type of the paper. For example, you all have a systematic review. So we are submitting systematic review titled name of the article in the journal, name of the journal, and this systematic review is conducted to, and you would write your study objectives. And then you would write in next paragraph that this article has not been published and is not under consideration for publication in any other journal, and it is solely being submitted in, then you would write the name of the journal. And corresponding author, I told you who is the corresponding author, the one that is submitting the paper. Take the responsibility of the manuscript. Manuscript means your final paper and your draft. There's no conflict of interest between authors. No funding was received, and all authors are have reviewed and have reviewed the paper and give their approval. So these are the mandatory things. And if any journal require any specific thing to add in the cover letter, you have to read them in the guidelines. If not, then this is just the body that you have to include. And then you would write your name, your affiliation, your email address. And affiliation, I already told you, is it your medical college or the hospital you are working at or just the last place you worked at. So now this is complete. You edit the declaration and sequence the authorship. Um, you wrote the cover letter and you did all the arrangement. I told you that you don't need arrangement if you are submitting in a journal that have their own separate headlines and you just have to copy paste them. But if the journal requires this arrangement, then you have to do that. And the mandatory thing for all the journal is these square brackets. And you are done with the cover letter. So how to select a journal? From all the studies you have collected is the name of the journal in the reference. So you can open that journal, you can look at the requirement of that journal and their APC, that is article processing charges of that journal, if they provide any discount or not, and how much time they take in the publication. You can also type on Google list of journal in cardiology, list of journal in neurology, list of journal in gastroenterology, urology, or whatever your area of interest and your paper is about. You can just write that and all the journals would pop up. Other one is schemagojournal.com. That is like that. So you would write www.schemagojr.com. And there is this website where there are all the journals. This is the ranking. Um, for example, if cardiology is your area of interest, you would write that. And there are all these journals in cardiology. Hmm, excuse me, just 1 second. I had to this ad blocker pause on this side. So you have to write your area of interest in here. So we'll choose cardiology. And then there are all these journals. Q1 are the topmost journals, but they have low acceptance rate and they take too much time in publication. So, and these are the open access journals. So you have to submit in the journals that are open access. You don't have to look at other journals that don't have the availability of open access. So when you move ahead, there would be Q2 journals and Q3 journals and Q4 journals. You can look at Q3 and Q4 journals so that they have, because they have more acceptance rate and they are not the top quality journals. But it's your own will wherever you want to publish, but you just have to look at that this is open access. So you have to open the journal page. So whatever the journal is, you have to look at, open the journal page and then look at its APC charges and if they provide any discount, because these top journals have up to $4,000 APC charges. And that is not affordable for anyone. So you can skip those journals. Some journals provide discount if there is any discount. So you can choose that journal. Also, you have to look at the acceptance rate of that journal. Other website is journalfinder.elsewhere.com. They also have high APC charges, but you can just write journalfinder.elsewhere.com and open the website. And you have to search by keywords and write your field, for example, cardiology, neurology, or whatever it is. And there would be all the cardiology papers. And there are $4,100 APC charges. And this is open access. So I told you already that you have to look that journal should be open access. This is also open access. You can visit journal page and you can look at the APC charges, time to acceptance, time to first decision. There is everything written in there. This also has a large amount of charges, APC charges. You can open the journal page and you can look if they provide any discount. Most of the journals provide discount for low income countries, so you can look at that. These are all the journals. Similarly, you can just write neurology. This takes too much time, 109 days, time to first to see, and also site score is not too good, and the high publication charges. Time to first to see in 15 days, site score 10, it is better, but still high APC charges. You can visit the journal page and see if they provide any discount. So this is how you can have all these journals and you can look at them and decide if you want to publish in them or not. You can also write Medellin index journals. They are usually free, but they also take 6 months to 1 year for publication. So whatever the journal you choose, you have to write the name of the journal on PubMed and see if the journal is PubMed indexed. So this is how you do it. For example, you want to publish in Curious and you want to see if it is PubMed indexed or not. So this is Curious. So if the journal name pops up here, that means it is PubMed indexed. BMJ. So we can write a specific BMJ open quality journal. BMJ has many journals. BMJ itself, uh, BMJ itself is the one that publishes a lot of journals, and it has different names of the journal. For example, BMJ Medicine, BMJ Open, BMJ Open Quality. So this is one of the BMJ journals, and we can check that. This is BMJ Open Quality. So this is also PubMed indexed. You have to make sure that one thing is that the journal is open access. Second is they provide discount. Third is they are PubMed indexed. So a lot of people publish in 2 years. Why is that? It is around $350 publishing fee. That is not too much as compared to the other journals that have high APC charges. They take a decision of publishing within a week or two, and article is published in 4 to 6 weeks. If you submit your paper now, you would have your paper published at the end of next month. So they have a high acceptance rate and low rejection rates. But the con is that it doesn't have a good reputation in academic world. It is just okayish. While some other journals that have high impact factor has a good reputation in academic world, and phone is that they have high APC charges and low acceptance rate, more rejections, and they take a lot of time. Most of them take up to 1 year. If you submit now, you would have your paper um, starting from 6 months to 1 year published. So it takes a lot of time, but you would have your paper published in some good journal. So that is on you. If you wanna have your paper in good journal and you don't mind waiting that long, then you should choose some other journal other than Curious. But if you want that your paper just get published anywhere, then you can choose Curious. So these are some good journals that are very famous in academic world. For example, BMJ, BMC, Springer Nature. For low income countries, they provide 100% discount. But the criteria is that all the authors should be from the low income countries. Uh, the writers, authors in our group are from both countries, so they are not eligible for full waiver. You are all not eligible for full waiver because you all the authors are not from the low income countries or from Afghanistan. For Springer Nature BMC, they provide 50% discount for Pakistan, and BMJ can provide 100% discount in the waiver list. They also have Pakistan in their 100% waiver list. So for that purpose, either you are from Afghanistan or Pakistan, you have to fill a form for the waiver and discount, and then they would reply it and make a decision if they would provide the discount. So if you wanna publish in some good journals, then I would recommend that you choose BMJ and you um, you submit the request form and even if you are from Afghanistan, you have to fill that form because your co-authors are from Pakistan as well. So you have to fill that form and then you have to wait if they provide discount or 100% discount fee. So if the answer is yes, then that would be very good and you can just submit your paper in that journal. So that's what I just told you that BMJ can provide full discount for Pakistani authors on request. BMJ Open Quality. I told you that BMJ has many journals. One of them is Open Quality. It has a relatively good acceptance rate and publication time is up to 6 months, or it also can take a year, 6 months to 1 year. Um, so you have to fill out the form. We can look at that. So when you would open BMJ author guidelines, we can just open this again. So BMJ uh manuscript submission. BMJ open quality. So this is 61% acceptance rate. Content view and impact factor is 1.3. Find out if you are eligible for waiver or discount. You have to go here and so go to waivers and discount. This is the waiver and discount list. So according to this list, full waiver list. This is Afghanistan and this is Pakistan. So both countries are included in full waiver list. So we are hoping that you all can get the 100% discount. But we have to submit this form and then see. So each one of you will submit this form for your own paper. So this is the form. You can ask me while filling this form if you don't know what to write or you don't know any information. So I'm claiming a full APC waiver. Uh, so I told you BMJ has many journals like that, and BMJ Open Quality has a good acceptance rate. So we would try publishing in BMJ Open Quality. Because if you submit in other journal that is high-end journal and you get the ejection, then it would take more time. So you can target BMJ Open Quality at the first, or you can try some other journal that has a high impact factor, other BMJ journal having a high impact factor, and you can try your luck. That is up to you. Then in this section, you have to write, please provide full details why you are applying for a discount. I just wrote it uh, so that I can go next. You have to write in detail why you uh, are applying for discount. You have to write that I belong to a low income country and uh, I cannot afford the IPC charges, and all the co-authors are from the low income and low middle income countries, and you cannot afford the charges. Whatever you have to write, but generally this is this. So here you would write the title of your paper, and you can submit your paper and then fill out this form, or you can fill out this form before submitting the paper. So whatever you do, you have to choose according to that. So title of the paper, your first name, your surname, your email address, your affiliation and institution name and address. I told you that it's a medical college or the hospital you are working at, your country of residence, all author full names and country of residence. Here supervisor's title, that you can write my detail here, name, address, affiliation, and then you just have to submit it. And then they would make a decision if they would provide you the discount. Um, after they reply you, then you can probably submit your paper, or you can submit your paper and fill out this form at the same time, whatever you want to do. So for BMJ Open Quality, these are the author guidelines: word count 3,000 to 4,000 words, abstract up to 300 words, and up to 5 tables or illustrations. So one thing that is extra in this is that after your abstract, you have to write these 3 headings: what is already known on this topic, and then you have to write few lines on that. And what this study had, you have to write 1 to 2 lines, and then how this study might affect research, practice, or policy, and then you have to write 1 to 2 lines. So after your abstract, you have to add these things if you are submitting in BMJ Open Quality. This will be published as summary box after the abstract in the final published article. So I told you that whatever journal you choose, you have to read the author guidelines because they need something extra. So this was the thing that I have told tell you that you have to add at the end of your abstract. Then you have to create OLCID ID. This is open research and contribution ID that all the researchers are supposed to have, and then they have to add that ID while submitting the paper. So you have to write OLCID and create the ID. And when you make the general account, you have to add that ID to your account. For example, let's see here, OLCID registration. So you would write your name, your surname, email address, and just go next. So you would have an ID like that. And when you make your journal account, you have to add this ID in your account, and then you would have your publications in your ID like that. BMJ open quality login. I already created an account, but if you are new, you have to create an account and fill out all these things. Whatever journal you choose, you have to create the journal account, and all your co-authors should also have the journal account and OCID ID for publication in that journal. For example, if one person is submitting in one journal, but you are not submitting in that journal, you still should have an account in that journal. Um, so that you can receive all the updates on your paper, because obviously you will be the co-author in that paper. So you have to create the OCID ID and journal account. Login, few journals just log into the ID, but some journals want you to create journal account separately. So conference presentation, you can also submit your paper for any conference presentations as well. You can write upcoming international conferences in cardiology, neurology, urology, whatever is the subject of interest. For example, there are some upcoming conferences. One is American Heart Association, and the last day of the submission is in May, May or June. Similarly, there is an upcoming conference for the Society of Neuroscience, SFN, and this is also May or June. I don't exactly remember, but you can submit your paper, and you can have, if they accept it for the conference presentation, then you can register for the conference and you can go there. You can have connections and meet multiple people. So the paper that is presented in conference holds mm, much value. These are the two conferences that are upcoming, and I know about them. But if your paper is in some other area of interest, you can just Google and you can find if there's any upcoming conference on that subject. So um, these are the reviewer list. When you submit your paper for BMJ, on quality manuscript submission, Mhm. So in the submission, you would have type, title, and summary and abstract. So you would choose review study. You would write the title of your paper. You would paste the abstract here, and then select the subject area, whatever it is. And you can choose other areas as well, if that is applicable. So special issue, you can decide not to take part in any special issue. And then file upload. So here you would upload the main document that is from the introduction to Confluence section. And here you would have all the supplemental material. I told you supplementary table 1, 2, whatever are in your method section. So, and then you have to add the figure and main document figure, supplementary material. So there is no option for a separate table. You can add that table in your main document because there is no option. In some journals, there is an option for separate table that is not supplementary. In that case, you would have your table in separate file, but in this, there is no option for separate table, so you would have it in the main document. So you would add supplementary tables, figure, that is Prisma diagrams, and the main document. Ownership of the figures, I told you that if you create your own figure image table and supplementary material, then there's no plagiarism, and you are the owner. However, if you take any figure from the internet, then you have to ask the author and take permission. So you would write your own name as an owner. You don't have to take permission to, because you are not taking any image from the internet, so this is not applicable for you. And then you would write the word count, number of tables, figures, references, supplementary files. And then you follow Prisma guideline. So you would say yes. And the submitting author, has the right to grant and does grant on behalf of all authors of the work. So you would just tick all of them. I'm the sole author of the work. I'm an author. So this is not applicable. This would be applicable for you all. And you would tick it according to what is applicable for you. So you would write keywords here. I told you that everyone should have a journal account. If you all have a journal account, you just have to write the email of your co-authors and they would pop up here. This is not applicable for you, so you would leave it empty. If you used any AI, you have to tell about that. So this is also not applicable for you. If anyone had contributed in your work, this is also not applicable because you did not receive any funding or grant. No conflict of interest. This is also not applicable for you all. And acknowledgements, this is also not applicable. If there are any person who is not added in the author but contributed in some way in your paper, you can write it in acknowledgements, but you can just leave it empty. So reviewers, you can add reviewers in here that these people should review your paper for publication. You can just write BMJ open quality reviewers list, BMJ open quality reviewers list. You can look, these are the reviewers that have reviewed at BMJ. You can look at their name, write it on Google, take their email address, and um, uh, just paste it here. So you just have to have a full name that is in the list and then just the email address. I recommend this reviewer. So you don't have to add any reviewer like a pause. You just have to add the reviewers that they want. So they want minimum two reviewers. You can just take two names from this list and find the email address from the Google and just write them there. So you would copy paste the cover letter. I already told you how to write the cover letter. Mm. So they ask you separately about the funding. No funding was received. Previously submitted in this journal, no. The trial, this is not a trial and this is not registered, so you would select according to that. No, is registered, no. So would also be this personal or medical information about identifiable individual, no. This is about the consent, so it will all be no. This study does not involve human participants because this is a review study. Informed consent, so you don't have to write it in the declaration section because they are asking you separately. Informed consent is not applicable. You would just write, if consent for participation was not obtained, then you just write that this was not applicable. This is also not applicable for you. You can write the Twitter ID of all of your co-authors here, and just that. Then you will submit the paper. So all that have you have submitted, you would have it here, and you can just review if um, this is all right. You can just proofread it and you can change anything. So this is how you have to submit in most of the journals. If you choose Curious, we can also look at that. You would create the account, go to submit research, read all the author's instruction and get started. So this is not a competition entry. This is not a channel article. This is not a collection article. Review article. No, you would have title, abstract, and you would just have to copy paste your you would copy paste the article name. For example, stem cell therapy for cerebral palsy, right? And I told you that it should be in the title case, that is, the first word should be capital. First word would be capital of except fall and add of except these words. Each alphabet of the first alphabet of each word would be capital. Um, this is called title case. Then you have to copy paste the abstract. example, this rider. I think we cannot move forward without um and so for QGIS you should have unstructured abstract and you just have to copy paste it like that. And then select any category, for example, neurology. And then you have to add the keywords. And then you have to write all the authors should have a curious account, and then you just have to write the email address and um, the author would be added. So it's just that whatever they ask, you just have to copy paste your article, just like I did in the title and abstract section. So if you choose to publish in QS and you don't know how to navigate that, you can just ask me. It is just very simple. You just have to copy paste under all the subheadings like you just did in the title and abstract section. And because we cannot move forward until we uh, submit everything, and we are not submitting right now. So um, I cannot tell you how to do that till the end, but you just have to add the references, then similarly add the reviewers list. If you publish in 2 years, I will send you the reviewers list, and then you would have the whole of your paper. You can review that, and you just have to submit it the click button. And when your paper is accepted, then they will ask you for the payment. And when you make the payment, it will be published within a week after your payment and after your final acceptance. And so this is our final lecture, and after that, when you choose the journal and you are done with all this, you can just tell me, and we can navigate how to publish in that journal. And so if you have any question from this lecture and you don't understand or know anything, you just ask me. So just do these changes at the declaration section. Author sequencing I will tell you at the end. And arrange the paper like that if you are submitting in a journal other than Curious. Write the cover letter and search these websites, choose the journal you want to, and check that the journal is open access. You also have to make sure that the journal is open access and PubMed index, and look at the pros and cons and look what do you prefer. And if you prefer BMJ open quality, just submit this form, write this section. If you are going to submit in BMJ open quality, add this section at the end of your abstract, create your ORCID ID, create the journal account you want to publish in, about the conference presentation, some conferences say that if you are submitting in the conference, they would publish your paper in their own journal. So for the American Heart Association, they don't publish in their own journal. They just accept for the conference, and after that you can publish it anywhere. Um, for the Society of Neuroscience, you have to check that, and if you are submitting in any other conference, you have to check the rules and regulations. If the conference says that they would publish in their own journal, then you don't have to worry about submission process. You would just submit in the conference, and if they accept your paper would be published in their own journal. So uh, look at the conferences as well, because this will add so much value to your paper and to your CV and all. So thank you very much, everyone. Um, uh, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'm here to help you all until you all finish your paper and get it published. So, okay, bye for now.